There's an art to riding that terrifying line between falling and flying in LawBreakers. The 5v5 hero shooters gun duels play out like thrilling high wire dances. You try to stay afloat and in control just long enough to win each fight. Even if the maps and game modes aren't always as exciting as the fights themselves, dropkicking an enemy with a pair of laser boots and then using that momentum to soar halfway across the arena is extremely fun.
Your team is charging the battery.
A lot of the excitement in LawBreakers comes directly from the movement itself, rather than just kill streaks or point captures. Each of the 9 roles lets you explore its levels in a different way and at a different speed. The Assassin can swing like Spider-Man with a ridiculously fun grappling hook. The Wraith can slide on the floor for a speed boost and then triple jump through the air. And the Juggernaut can barely get off the ground, but makes up for it with a whole lot of health and a chunky shotgun. But even though LawBreakers is an attractive game, its 18-character roster feels overwhelmingly bland. The lack of personality generally isn't too distracting. After all, LawBreakers is here to let you shoot dudes in spectacular fashion, not chat about backstory and lore. The issue is that the silhouettes of each character are so similar that it isn't always easy to determine who you're floating toward before they start firing at you. Clarity is important because so many of the fights happen at a very long distance. What sets LawBreakers' spectacular firefights apart more than anything are its low-gravity areas. Swimming through the air using jetpacks, grappling hooks, or even my own gun as a paddle is fun and challenging. I particularly love the characters with multiple jumps, which I could use to both manage my height and juke my opponents. Fighting in low gravity has a skill cap I'm nowhere near reaching, and trying to master those mechanics is easily the main thing that's kept me coming back to LawBreakers. LawBreakers launched with 8 decent maps, but 6 of them feel so similar that they sometimes blur together. Each one has a curved indoor flanking path with regular gravity wrapped around a larger open area with a low-gravity bubble. In contrast, the Vertigo map breaks that mold with tons of open air to swing or fly around, even letting you go under the level. It lets mobile characters like Assassin, Vanguard, and Harrier truly stretch their wings, and left me wishing more maps had followed its lead. The 5 game modes are unique variations of classic modes like Capture the Flag or King of the Hill, some of which are more successful than others. Uplink is by far my favorite.
Uplink acquired.
2 teams fight over a single uplink that they can pick up like a flag and plug in at their base to charge a score meter. It provides a tense back and forth that feels like Capture the Flag without the need to split your team between attack and defense. The Overcharge Mode is similar, but both teams share the meter being filled. It adds the possibility of come-from-behind victories, but also some truly awful feeling upsets when you're on the other side. The occasional stale map or frustrating mode wouldn't be as noticeable if they weren't all mixed into a single matchmaking queue. Unless you're making a custom game, there's no way to filter or specify the maps and modes you want to play or avoid. LawBreakers will eventually get ranked play with its own queue, but its presence is already sorely missed. Going a dozen games without seeing a map like Vertigo can be a bit of a bummer when you have no control over it. In its best game modes, LawBreakers manages to make simply moving around feel amazing. Learning how to fall with style in the most deadly way possible is a thrilling challenge. Getting stuck playing a weak mode and map thanks to the grab bag matchmaking can be frustrating, but it doesn't ruin an otherwise fast and tense shooter that lets you gleefully propel yourself through low gravity with rocket boots and miniguns. For more awesome zero-G competitive action, check out our review of Lone Echo. And for everything else, keep it right here on IGN.